Hi, I'm Sean Casey, and I'm here to talk to you about fear. Fear is something that we experience every day at some capacity. You may fear that one day you'll come into work and you're being let go from your job. You may fear that there will be a terrorist attack in your town. You may fear that one day you'll find yourself old, sad, and alone. You may fear the uncertainty that the future brings. For many people, a common fear is that of being different. When you think about it, fear plays a role in each day we spend on this earth. How many decisions do we make on a day-by-day basis that, at the root of it, are centered around fear? This particular emotion is so important in our daily lives and is also a tool that different aspects of society use to obtain a desired result. So today, I'm going to focus particularly on how fear can be manipulated to be a form of social control. I'm going to examine the instances of this in government, the media, and social programs. In order to understand how social control works, we need to first understand what biopower is and the two functions it works by. Biopower is defined by Lisa Blackman in her book, The Body as the Power Over Life. The two main aspects of biopower are biopolitics and anatomopolitics. Biopolitics focuses on the administration of the life of the population, seeking to strengthen and enhance it through policy construction and legislation. On the other hand, anatomopolitics focuses on the disciplining of individuals through knowledge and distinguished groups like medical institutions. Basically, biopolitics refers to direct institutional regulations that grant benefits for fitting norms, whereas anatomopolitics refers to aspects of society that are self-policing within its population. Now that this is established, we can get back to the topic. The media uses fear as a form of social control. In David Altheide's article, Fear in the News, A Discourse of Control, he states that generally, national public opinion surveys show that the public's fear of crime continues to increase despite the declining crime rate. I believe this is due to the sensationalism of the media and the scare tactics it uses to obtain more viewers. How many times have you turned on the news and heard, coming up next, the story about so-and-so, what you didn't know may kill you? These scare tactics give news stations more viewers as people are fascinated by these topics. This influences actions of the public by introducing activities and products that may prove harmful to viewers and deterring them from participating in them or using them. The media uses fear as a tool for anatomopolitics, as it provides guidelines for things to avoid that society regulates without imposing actual legislation. Viewers will put the negative or unhealthy things as something extreme and out of the norm, and those who continue the detrimental behavior. An example of this is how the media portrays the obesity problem in America. The sensationalist media has called it the obesity epidemic, which creates an aura of immediate fear. As epidemics are associated with widespread disease that often kills, the word epidemic is unnecessarily used as a scare tactic to alter societal behavior. This creates a problem for people that are heavier because it portrays them as sickly and as something people fear to become. This pushes heavier people further into the realm of otherness, as people perceive them as sick and not natural. The media is able to shape public opinion and influence the lives of many through scare tactics and manipulation through anatomopolitics. Another institution that uses fear as a form of social control is the government. The government has used fear in the past in order to push its own agenda. Following the 9/11 attacks in 2001, the government passed legislation and created laws that would never pass in the times of peace. The American population was afraid of another attack, so they were willing to give up certain rights in order to ensure their protection. This led to the prominence of the National Security Agency and the invasive nature of the institution. The government, with help from the media, stressed the importance each program like the NSA would have and attempted to quell the fears that the public held. Through this fear, many programs and laws were passed that essentially went against our rights simply because the public feared another attack. The government also used fear as a tool to combat crime in the United States. The government is incentivized to control the population at some capacity to make them more predictable and less likely to cause problems for society. Therefore, a common tool used for societal control is fear. The government creates laws and regulations in order to maintain public safety and to deter people from breaking these rules by putting the fear of prison into society. By imposing laws, the government uses biopolitical techniques to control the public. Prison is known to be a terrible place, and the public has an inherent fear of incarceration. Some social programs enhance this fear of incarceration, like the Scared Straight program, by bringing inner city kids that have already committed crimes and are on the wrong path to prisons to see what life is like there. They're then exposed to verbal abuse from prisoners and security guards alike, as well as taken through the daily lives of prisoners. This is a perfect example of fear as a form of social control, as young adults are exposed to horrible things that may happen in their future if they do not alter their current behavior. However, in 2003, the Campbell collaboration published a study that showed that the program often did more bad than good, as many of the kids went on to commit more offensive crimes following their experience with Scared Straight. This is an interesting claim, as fear is usually an effective tool to control future behaviors. It could be that an oversaturation of fear can cause an individual to rebel and commit the type of behavior the intimidator wants to deter. Overall, fear is something we encounter every day in our lives. It may lead to good things, and it may lead to bad things, but no matter what, it's always there. It is important to be aware of where these fears come from, and to be aware of how different institutions may try to manipulate you through scare tactics. In the words of President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. So go out and challenge the norms, and don't be afraid to be different. Challenge the institutions that implement scare tactics to try and regulate society. And finally, be active and unstifled by the fear that these institutions present. Thank you.